Good evening, friends. How are you? So, friends, today we are going to start with the next standard NCRT, that is the 8th standard NCRT. We have finished up till 6th and 7th standard NCRTs. So, I hope you guys are with me. What is going on in our video lectures? You are covering everything. You are watching lectures, everything. You are taking down notes from my PPT, and you are solving questions every day. I'm seeing some people are solving questions little lately. So my request is don't do that because in the end it will be a huge burden on you guys. Once we reach 10th standard NCRT or 11th, 12th standard NCRT, it will be very burdensome for you. So finish along with video lectures which are going on right now. Okay. So friends, yesterday we have seen about deserts and these hot and cold deserts. I had given question about them, how hot and cold desert people are living in these conditions and how these conditions differ from each other. Okay, so most of you have written good answer. Some of you have written some of you have compared by making compartments like this. Okay, so here you have written about hot desert, here you have written about cold deserts. So don't write answers like that. Now you are not in a school, okay, to compare like this. Okay, so just point wise manner you write 1 2 3 4 like that. Okay, so this is better, and you draw more and more diagrams, you give more and more example. Okay, don't write like this. Okay, so uh, this is the thing just I wanted to tell you. Okay, so today what we are going to do, we are going to start with the first chapter of our 8th standard NCRT. 8th standard NCRTs are all about resources, natural resources, human resources. So many resources that we are going to see. We are going to see resources of India. We are going to see resources of the world. So various resources we are going to see. Okay. So resources, when we say, what do we mean by resources? So anything which is useful for the human being, okay, whatever useful thing is there for the human beings, we are calling them as a resources. Okay, whether it is a natural thing, whether it is a non-living thing or living thing, whatever it is, we call it as a resources. Okay, so this chapter is very simple, and again not a very lengthy chapter, but some definitions are very important for you to write in a mains examination. Okay, so what do you mean by resources? Okay, so resources, if question comes about the resources, first you have to define the resource. So resource means what? Anything that is useful for us, useful in the terms of satisfying our needs, day-to-day needs of the human being. So that's why we are calling them as a resources. So water is a resource, it is satisfying our day-to-day need. Air is a resource. Okay, then minerals are the resources. Then even human beings are also the resources because they are also satisfy our day-to-day needs. Okay, so resources are thus, they have some sort of use, they have some sort of value. This use or this use we call it as a utility. Okay, so utility, many times you listen to this word utilities, this and that. Okay, so utility is nothing but a usability of that particular resource. Okay, so depending upon the how much particular thing is useful, depending upon that we determine its a degree of utility or degree of usability. We call them as an important resource in terms of their degree of utility. So how much important it is? So for example, utility of the gold or usability of the gold is different from the utility of the iron. Without gold you may live. Okay, so sorry, specifically for ladies, I mean I know that you cannot live without the gold. Okay, but without iron definitely your life will be hell. If iron is not there, then so many things will not be able to perform. There won't be any construction, there won't be vehicles, there won't be any gadgets. So you require iron. So utility or usability is different for the different resource. Water is most useful resource that we all know. Okay, so this resource, when we call as a utility or usability, okay, this comes to when this is coming to that particular resource. Okay, we call it as a value of that resource. Okay, so depending upon the utility, we the value of the particular resource is determined. So how much valuable that resource is, it's determined on the utility of that particular resource. So as I compared between water and between gold, okay, so you guys know the utility or value of both is different. Without water you cannot live. So value of water is more than gold. Okay, so that's why though water is available very cheap in market, but still the value is more compared to gold. You have read the story of King Midas, okay, who touches everything and that becomes gold. Okay, so value is a different concept altogether. Okay, so every resource has some values. Okay, some resources have economic values. As I told you, gold have very high economic value. Water does not have that much high economic value. Okay, so some resources they will have very high economic value, but not necessary. It should have a economic value. So that value determines the worth of that particular thing. Okay, so everything has some worth, whether it is economic worth, whether it is worth related to the day-to-day living. Okay, for example, soil, it does not have economic worth, but it has more worth. Okay, so value means worth. Value, every resource have some kind of worth. Okay, so if particular resource does not have much value, by using technology we can turn that particular resource into more worthy or more valuable. Getting it? For example, let us say, uh, uh, let me give you the example of sunlight. A few years back, sunlight or sun did not have much value. But as soon as this solar equipment came, the value of sunlight went very high. Getting it? So technology may make any non-worthy resources or non-valuable resources into a very valuable resources. So technology itself is a resource. Remember, guys, it's very useful. Okay. So by application of latest technology, we can turn anything into a very good resources, and then we can take patent of that technology. We can take patent of that particular invention. So what do you mean by patent? Patent means exclusive right over anything. So you have patent over, for example, this mobile. So particular type of mobile. So or any mobile technology. So only you have that exclusive right over that particular technology. Okay. So now let us understand the types of resources. So we have seen what is a resource, worth of a resource. When we say type of a resource, there are two types of resources. Okay, one is a natural resource, okay, and another is a human-made resource, or let us say artificial resource. Also, we can call them as. Okay, so natural resources can be divided into two subparts: renewable and non-renewable. So what are the natural resources? Natural resources means resources we directly take from nature and use it. We don't modify them much. For example, water is a natural resources. So we directly take it from the nature. We don't do much modification in that. We directly drink it. So that is a natural resource. That can be again divided into two parts: renewable resource and non-renewable resource. Renewable means what? That gets replenished after some time. Replenish means, for example, water. It gets renewed after every season. It gets renewed. Though its quantity remains the same, it gets renewed every season. And some are non-renewable resources. Means that cannot be replenished. For example, coal is a natural resource. Once it finishes, it cannot be replenished. So that is a non-renewable resources. Okay. So these natural resources depend the amount of natural resources and the kind of natural resources which are available in the particular area depends upon the various physical factors. So what are these physical factors? So type of climate in this region, okay, physical features of the rocks, physical feature of the land, then the, for example, temperature of the particular region, humidity of the particular region, and altitude of the particular region. So these things will determine the type of distribution and types of natural resources found over there. So forest is also a natural resource. Remember, So forest is also natural resources, animals are natural resources, and even microorganisms are also natural resources. So all these things will be determined by the various factors. Okay. So resources are might be there, but you might not be knowing them that there are resources, or they are not available for you for your usage. So to determine those resources who are available for you for your usage, we call them stock of resources. So there is a lots of coal in the Jammu and Kashmir, but you cannot use it. So they don't come under stock of resources. But coal in the Jharkhand, so they are available for the use. So they are the resources available for the use. So we call them as a stock of resources. Okay. So now after natural resources, second type of resource is a human-made resource. Now, natural resources are naturally available resources. We know that we are not modifying them much. Now, human beings are taking these resources from the nature and modifying them for their use. So, for example, we have taken bitumen from the nature and made a tar out of them and making a roads out of them. We have taken a cement from nature and we are making buildings out of them. We have taken stones out of nature and we are building houses for them. So these houses, the bridges and building construction. So these are all the human-made resources. Vehicles you have, trucks you have, motors you have. Okay, so gadgets you have. These are our human-made resources. So technology, by using technology as a mediator, we are converting the natural resources into the human-made resources. So technology itself is a resource. Okay, so it is technology has been made by the human being. So technology itself is a human-made resource. So these are very simple definitions, but they will be useful for you in writing the answer. Clarity of thoughts and answers come from these types of simple definition when we understand them. Okay. So third is a human resources. Now first we have seen the natural resource, then we have seen the human made resource. Third is a human resources. So human itself is a resource. Getting it? So human, when we say human resources, human has a huge potential. So one person, so, all the humans, they are resources, but we need to convert them into resources. Otherwise, they can be converted into the disaster. Get it? If human not properly civilized, if they are not properly learned, they are not properly educated, they are not in synchronization with the thoughts of the society, they can turn into the disaster. For example, a person becomes a scientist and another person become terrorist. So one person we called as a human resource. Another is also a human resource, but that is for different people, not for the society at a large. So human resources, we can people can be used as a resources for various purpose, for work, for work purpose, for definitely for the various activities of the society, charity. So anything you do for the growth and for the help, for the fulfillment of the society, to these people we will call them as a human resources. Okay. So the basic thing that makes human as a resource is the education and health. Getting it? So that convert people into the human resources. If there is no education, we cannot use these people. There will be a problem for the society. If health is bad, again there will be burden on the society. So that's why these people won't be called as a very useful resources. Getting it? Okay. So that's why we have different subjects like we human resource management, personnel management. Okay. Once you have a skilled human resources, we call them as a personnel. Okay. So this is very important thing. Okay. So now guys, I hope you have understood. This is very simple chapter. Very substantial thought is given in this chapter about conserving resources or conserving resources. Resources and their conservation is very important, because you are not the only generation which are going to use the resources. Your future generations are also going to use the resources. That's why conservation is very important. Okay, we have given a very suitable name for that, that is a sustainable development. So sustainable development means what? Utilizing the resources without compromising the future generations to use these resources in their times. We call them as a sustainable development. Getting it? So you have to take care and hand over safely those resources to future generation. For example, your um, lake in the Hyderabad. So currently, in last 50 years, that Hussain Sagar Lake is so polluted. After 20 years, next generation will not have it for the use. The river, okay, Musi River is not for the usage for the few 10-20 years after that. So this is not a sustainable development. Future generation will be deprived of the water, beautiful surroundings, and the clean water and clean air because of the Hussain Sagar Lake. So that is not a sustainable development. If we preserve this properly and hand over it to the future generation, then only we'll call it as a sustainable development. Okay. So we need a sustained effort to manage those resources. So in this chapter they have given certain points. What do we call as a sustainable development? These points you can use for the writing your answers in the mains. So what do we mean by sustainable development? So these points you can uh, principles of the sustainable development. Even we have sustainable development goals, SDGs. 17 SDGs are there, created by the United Nations, and even India has taken a very serious action on these sustainable development goals. Niti Aayog is taking a very detailed stance. They have created sub goals and all union 63 indicators to measure these sustainable development goals for all 28, 29 union territories and states. Okay. So the principles of sustainable development. What are those principles? So as I told you, the goal of sustainable development is to conserve and to the transfer these resources safely into the hands of future generation for their usage. So how it can be done? By utilizing these principles like respect and care for all forms of life. Okay. Without that, it cannot be conserved. Conserved Earth's vitality and diversity. So the power of the earth, for example, soil. If you use too much of chemical fertilizer, vitality will be lost. Biodiversity will be lost. So we should not have to use chemical fertilizers. Getting it? Minimize the depletion of natural resources. So very fast depletion of natural resources. So you are doing wars with another country. You are making islands in the seas. You are changing the river courses. You are using lots of you are using coal, oil. So you are depleting natural resources very fast. You are polluting the water. You are polluting the air. So minimize the depletion of natural resources. Okay. Change personal attitude and practice towards environment. Now this is a ethics. This is environmental ethics. So this is part of environmental ethics. So sustainable development comes under ethical behavior as well. So without ethical behavior, without codified behavior, it is impossible to have a sustainable development. So attitude and practice is very very important for making the development sustainable. Okay. And community participation is also very very important. Individual participation sometimes can be failed because all the individuals are not at the same level. So community is required to take care that few individuals who are deviant to look at them and to conserve the environment. Getting it? So community care is very very important for the sustainable development. So this question can be directly asked into the prelims by giving this all the five options. Which of the following can be the principles of sustainable development? Okay. So for prelims and mains, for both the things, it is very very important. So I hope guys you have understood this chapter. So first chapter, very simple chapter. Tomorrow we are going to see more chapters. We are going to see next chapters. Let us see some MCQs based on this chapter. So very simple MCQs I think it will be. First MCQ, which of the following does not make substance a resource? So utility, value, quantity. So I think quantity. Okay. Which of the following is a human-made resource? Medicine to treat cancer, spring water, tropical forest. Definitely medicine to treat cancer. Okay. Complete the statement. Non-renewable resources are Yes, non-renewable resources are which have limited stock. Okay, so I hope this was very simple chapter, and take down the notes, read this chapter. If you feel, you can read this, but most of the things, almost all the things are given in this ppts, so you can directly take down the notes from over here. And if you have any doubts, then please ask me. Okay, thank you, see you tomorrow, bye bye.